Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever cast by me, KaBoom. If you're watching this, I just want to give you a big thanks for helping me get started here with this whole casting business. I don't know what was going on there with my connection and disconnection to Battle.net, probably because StarCraft's been sitting open for a while. And I have been doing other things. So, yeah, just thanks for checking me out. A little bit about myself. I am a diamond player on the team Severity. I play Protoss. And yeah, I'm just getting into the casting scene. One, to entertain you guys, to bring you some awesome games. I'll be casting a lot of games played by myself, as well as some pro replays. And I'm not going to skip out on you guys and just cast all my wins, be like, I'm totally awesome. I'm going to bring you the wins and the losses. One, just to help maybe some players that aren't as high level learn what's going on, and also to help myself learn what I need to do better and how I can get better at this game. Hopefully make it to Masters League here pretty soon. So let's go ahead and get into this game. It's going to be me over in the bottom left against Affxtion over in the bottom right. Now this game I scouted the right position real fast, and it was on one of Blizzard's new maps, so I'm not entirely familiar with it. And this is one you can wall off here as Protoss. There is one map where you cannot do that, and it's kind of annoying. But this one you can. And when I was over here scouting, I noticed that I thought I saw a really fast pool. It was on 11, which is relatively fast, but not like rush fast. But I wasn't aware of that. I just saw a pool when I was just barely putting down my gateway. I saw a pool like halfway done. And so I went ahead and put down a forge because I thought a rush might be coming. So I'm going to get this forge and put down a cannon and see I'm chrono boosting out my Zelt to wall off, because I am not aware that there isn't actually a rush coming, that he just decided to go 11 pool for some obscure reason. I know most other players like to go either a 15 hatch, not usually against Protoss, because if he did I could have cannoned him real easy. Or they like to go 15 pool and then they'll get their hatch, which he doesn't. He went for 11 pool. And I did have my probe there to scout for his lings to see if they were going to come rush me. But he did only have 2, so I kind of overreacted a little bit. And I think maybe that's kind of what he wanted to do. He wanted me to see the early pool, maybe overreact, get my forge first, my cannon. Sort of just get myself out of my set build that I normally do. I normally go for, let's say, a 12 gate. I'll get my gas on 14, and I'll get my cybernetics core on 16, and then my other gas while my cyber core is building. But as you can see, I'm just barely getting my cybernetics core, and I'm at 21 supplies, so that is not standard at all. So let's go ahead and open the resource tab. Now I am pretty close to him. Actually, I'm ahead of him right now, which is not where you want to be as a Zerg player. You want to be pretty much ahead of your opponents almost all the time, except for those very, very early stages. About this time, you should be able to be pumping out lots and lots of workers with your queen and your hatch. You should already have your expansion by now. I don't know why he took it so late. But yeah, he did cause me to get this cannon, so maybe that's what he wanted. And right now, I'm just planning on a 3-gate expand, but I do have this forge. That's going to play a key role here in a minute. And I do know, well, I don't know he's expanding, but I can pretty much assume that he's expanded to at least a second as a Zerg player, because yeah, they usually like to expand a lot unless they're going for a 6 pool, which he's not. So I don't know if he has a 3rd. That would be one thing I could go check. Also, I could try to take these towers, maybe force him to make a little more lings if he wants to take those towers back from me, because it takes 3 Zerglings to kill a Zealot if they can get us around. So that's one thing I could be doing. I could be scouting up here for a 3rd. But right now, he's just taking a 2nd, and I am not even taking my natural yet. But it's about this time that I figured, hey, I got this forge. I'm a little bit behind because I got this forge. What can I do? I can research +1 and go for a 5-gate all-in. And that's what you should be seeing me do. I'll putting down my gateways right there, and I'll be going for the +1 timing with 5-gate all-in. And I'm not going to take my expansion. I'm going to stop making probes, and I'm just going to make as many units as I can out of those gateways and hope to do something there. But he is getting his evolution chamber, so he will be able to get the +1 melee attack for his Zerglings. He doesn't have any other tech right now, which is kind of odd. You usually see like roaches or banelings or something at this time, but he did take a really early pool and then a really late expand, so he's a little bit off right now. But so I'm sending this probe over here, and I'm gonna go scout and see sort of what's up in his front, his main. But I do decide to put down this pylon. That's one thing I messed up a lot. I should have brought these units over to defend this pylon. I should have known he had the tower. So that pylon is going to get spotted, but I will cancel it in time. But I did scout these 2 spine crawlers, so I know there's something. And go ahead over to the production tab, and we'll see he's making a lot of lings, because he knows something's coming. I put down that pylon. He knows that I want to push out, because you're not going to place a proxy pylon right there unless you're pushing out soon, which I should have gone a little bit sooner. And I am very close to being supply blocked, and I'm not making any pylons. One thing you always want to do is keep your eye on that tab. Make sure you never get supply blocked. So he is going to move these lings up here, and he does see my proxy pylon, but I am going to take this tower. And one thing I would have liked to see him do right now is to take these lings and try to come in here and snipe this pylon, because I mean that's four zealots. That is, I could probably take his lings, but he would do significant damage to my force, I think, and stop this. But he does let it finish. I do get my 5 zealots from the 5 gates, and here we go. Going to be pushing in here. Force fields try to stop his zerglings from backing into the, from running away into the spine crawlers, but they're not the best force fields up here. We're pretty good to stop those lings from flanking, and I just killed a whole lot of lings. But he made all these. He's making 4 more. If he keeps up with his larva injection, yep, see, there goes 12. And I am running low on resources, but that's because I only have 24 workers, because I'm going all in right now. He's going to try to come over here and take me out. He does try to focus down this pylon, which I think was probably a mistake, because he should have known that I had all these guys there. There's no way he'd be able to take it. I think he should have just focused on my army, tried to do as much damage to it as possible, because when you're playing a Protoss player, if they lose their army at all, they're pretty much dead. I mean, the Protoss army is so like valuable, like mineral-wise. Like each stalker costs 125 minerals, 50 gas. So I have 6 stalkers. That's so much investment, especially with all these sentries. Each one is 100 gas. All these zealots, each one 100 minerals. And he should have focused down my. He should be focusing on my army and not necessarily his pylon. I mean, if he gets the pylon, that's great. I can't reinforce, but if he's trying to get the pylon, I still have my army there to stop him. So I don't see what he was doing with that. But he does have a lot of spine crawlers, but they are not finished yet, and his zergling count is running really low, because he's sacrificed a lot of harvesters to make these. He does have a lot of resources, but I did kill the queen down here, so he's not getting the optimal larva from that. And these spine crawlers are going to force me to back out. I could probably take them, but I would sacrifice a lot of my army, like I was talking about before, and a lot of my guys would die, and that would pretty much be the end of it for me. So he's going to see, he's trying to focus down that pylon again. He's not going to be able to get it. I'd really like to see him try to rally all of his lings and take out my army first before going for that pylon. And this force field was really misplaced. Lings can easily fit by there. Not my best force field. Not my worst force field, but see these. I would like to have seen also these spine crawlers been built up here. So by the time that I do take out this natural expansion, I push up here and there's like 6 spine crawlers, and I can't do anything about that. I'll have to retreat. I will be ahead, but he won't be totally out of the game. But he did build them down here, and he lost a ton of resources. See, I'm not the best force field, but he is rallying easily. So here we go. But they're a little bit late. I'm going to be taking this natural right now. It's going to die. I'm not going to worry about these gas geysers, because gas geysers do not win you games. So I'm going to be pushing up here. And he did take out my probe earlier on. I forgot to mention that. The probe that built this proxy pylon. Now, if I would have sent that probe up here to take the tower, I could have brought him in right now to build a proxy pylon right there. And so he is going to take this out. If I had my probe, I could build one right there and reinforce a lot faster. But it doesn't really matter at this point. These spine crawlers are going to finish up, but they're going to be killed almost instantly. Some more force fields. Try to block off these lings from getting surrounded on my stalkers. The lings are +1. He did get the +1 research. so they are going to deal with the stalkers pretty fast. But that's going to be it. Alright, it was a short one, but I thought it was a good example of what I did well and what I did wrong, and what he did well and what he did wrong. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah, keep checking back for more replays of myself and of some professionals. As if you like my style of casting, definitely subscribe. That would be awesome. Alright, thanks, guys.